I want you to imagine a wedding. So a wedding is usually the ceremony and the reception, right? So attending a webinar is like attending a ceremony. You are there, you're watching, you're learning, you're like just watching from the sidelines, but there is not a lot of interaction with the other guest. However, if you stay for the reception, you get to engage, you get to laugh, you get to have fun. You're not just consuming this content or this visual for the ceremony. You're actually having fun, dancing, you are interacting with the other guests, you're nurturing those relationships. That is the challenge. If you are a mom who is trying to implement better and more efficient marketing strategies that are going to help you to get more clients in less time, and you're right now wondering if you should run a Facebook challenge or a webinar, then you're in the right place, because I'm going to explain to you the difference between a webinar and a challenge and when it would be best for you to run each of them. And if you haven't met, hello, my name is Adriana. I help busy moms to sell their online courses, memberships, or group coaching programs with systems and automations so they can get more clients and do it in less time so they can have more time for their families or whatever they want to do. And I wanted to talk about this because one of the biggest mistakes I see new mom coaches or educators do whenever they're going to launch their online programs or whenever they want more clients but they don't have a huge audience is that they run a webinar first. And the reason they do this is because webinars are potentially easier than running a challenge, especially when you have small children. So a challenge is going to take 5 days, and that's a long time if you have small children. I have twin toddlers. They're about to be 2 years old, and it gets super busy. I guess the idea gets overwhelming, but it's not as bad in reality because you would distribute the work among the 5 days. However, we tend to think, well, a webinar is only 1 day and a webinar is only going to be 1 hour. I might as well run a webinar. Now, the pre-work between a challenge and a webinar is going to be about the same work. You have to plan it, you have to prepare it, you have to create the funnel, and you have to promote it. Where these are different is actually running each of the events. A webinar is going to be for 1 hour, and a challenge, it should only take you 15 to 30 minutes a day, but it's for 5 days. And if you're a busy mom, you're probably thinking 5 days versus 1 day, I better run a webinar. And that's great. Webinars are an amazing way to grow your email list and to sign up new clients. But that is the question. You need to ask yourself first, what is the purpose of me running this event? Do I want to just grow my email list? Or do I want to sign people up? New leads who are just coming into my funnel, new leads who are just getting to know me. Do I want to just get them into my email list, or do I actually want to sign them up as my new clients? And see, let me just picture the difference. I want you to imagine a wedding. So a wedding is usually the ceremony and the reception, right? So attending a webinar is like attending a ceremony. You are there, you're watching, you're learning, you're like just watching from the sidelines, but there is not a lot of interaction with the other guest. However, if you stay for the reception, you get to engage, you get to laugh, you get to have fun. You're not just consuming this content or this visual for the ceremony. You're actually having fun, dancing, you are interacting with the other guests, you're nurturing those relationships. That is the challenge. The webinar is just attending the ceremony. During the webinar, you just consume the content, you engage a little bit, but the relationship doesn't really get nurtured. The relationship doesn't grow. You're just consuming the content. And if you actually attend a challenge, then you're actually nurturing these relationships because it's for 5 days. So if you just want to grow your email list, yes, a webinar would be amazing. They come, they watch the webinar, they don't nurture this relationship with you, but your purpose is just growing your email list, right? So you get them into your email list, they get to know you a little bit, and then you build the relationship over time. That's great. But if you want to sign up clients, 1 hour of people just sitting in your webinar may not be enough. The only way those people may sign up for your program on the spot if they already know you, if they have had a relationship with you, if these are warm leads. If they are warm leads, they already know you, they will sign up if this is their time. But if they don't know you, they will not sign up. So if you want to run a webinar to grow your email list, it's great that it is to new leads. But if you want to sign up clients, then your webinar should be run to warmer leads because they already know you and there are higher chances they're going to say yes. Now, if these are new leads, if your audience is not big enough, or this is the first event that you run, and you actually not only want to grow your email list, but you also want to sign up clients, new clients that barely met you a couple days ago, then you might as well run a Facebook challenge. But because since the challenge is for 5 days, your new leads get to interact with you. They consume your content, they comment on your videos, you get to go into their Instagram or their Facebook, you get to hang out with them, talk to them in the DMs, and you can fast track building this relationship from Monday through Friday. So by Friday, whenever you actually open the card to your group coaching program, they have already been talking to you for 5 days. They already had time to consume. They already had time to talk to you. They kind of already met you. If it's a webinar, it's just too fast. But during a challenge, because it is 5 days, they get to know you better and they get to build this relationship with you, which is exactly what you need for clients to say yes. They need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And over the course of 5 days in a Facebook challenge, they get to do just that. So if you're a busy mom and you're looking for better and more efficient ways to sign up clients, then a webinar or a challenge are great places. So let me give you different scenarios of what you can do. If these are warm leads, this means they already know you, they like you, and they trust you. They already have a relationship with you and you want to sign them up, then you run a webinar, you invite them into your webinar, and you open the doors to your program at the end of the webinar. Let's recap this part. These leads already know you. They already have a relationship with you. When this is the scenario, then a webinar is just fine. However, if they don't know you, if they don't know who you are, what you do, and they don't trust you, then running a challenge would be better because over the course of the 5 days, you're able to build this relationship, okay? So scenario number 1, if they don't know you yet, you run a challenge and you focus on building relationships with them. You deliver content, but you're also trying to communicate with them through the comments. You ask them questions, they post their homework, you engage with them, you send them private messages, DMs, you go into their profile, you build a relationship over the course of the 5 days, okay? That's scenario number 1. Now, scenario number 2, you run the challenge and the following week when you open the doors to your program, you run a webinar and you invite them to the webinar. There are going to be a lot of people who were busy and they didn't engage in your challenge, and you get to invite them to the webinar. And maybe they didn't attend the challenge, but they already know you, they have been watching you, even if they didn't watch entirely all the videos, and chances are they may join the webinar, okay? So you can do that. That's scenario number 2. And scenario number 3, you run the challenge and then the following month you run a webinar. And you can run a webinar for month 2, month 3, month 4, as long as you want, but you're retargeting those people mainly, those people who got into your list and came to your challenge, and then you're just retargeting. And maybe 3 months down the road, you run another challenge, and then you run webinars later on to retarget those people who sign up for the challenge. Because remember, this challenge is perfect to build relationships, to fast track those relationships, but the webinar is less work, so you can use webinars to retarget people. All right, so I hope this was really helpful. If you're a busy mom and you are trying to sign up new clients into your online course, your membership, or your group coaching program, or launch it for the first time, I know these strategies are going to make a difference, and I hope this brought clarity on what is best to run a webinar or a challenge and when. And if you want to run a Facebook challenge and you want the details step by step on how to do it, scroll below, because in the description I added a link to my client attraction Facebook challenge roadmap. It's a checklist with the step by step what to do in each of the phases, so you can plan, prepare, promote, and run a challenge in only under 2 hours a day. And do not forget to subscribe or watch this video right here where I explain the 4 phases of running a Facebook challenge, and this other video right here where I explain how to create a funnel so you're getting leads on automatic. This is the funnel, and these are the tools that you need whenever you run a Facebook challenge. And do not forget to subscribe, because every Monday I come in with new videos, with new tips on how you can run a business from home as a busy mom in a more efficient way. I'll see you next Monday.